Just a Zulu man.
The most wanted people in history. I know this one. We all know this one. You know this one, 9/11 guy. This one is still in prison. He's alive, in fact. Where is Pablo? Okay, I see Pablo here. I see Saddam. I know him. I know Ted. I know Edward Snowden. Think a CIA, former CIA. I don't remember these two. But I'm sure they wanted African minerals. So let's go. Let's
Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden worked as an NSA contractor.
Oh, NSA. I thought it was CIA.
2013, he copied classified documents revealing mass surveillance programs. On May 20th, 2013, he flew from Hawaii to Hong Kong.
He did a good thing. Why is there even a mass surveillance program? People need their privacy.
With encrypted files. On June 5th, The Guardian published the first story. On June 14th,
I remember the Guardian. The Guardian was, I think it was founded. No, it's not. I'm thinking of WikiLeaks. That was founded by, I don't remember the guy, but he lived a very, very sad life. On the run, in embassies and stuff. I'll remember his name.
federal prosecutors charged him with Theft and Espionage Act violations. The State Department revoked his passport. On June 23rd, he flew to Moscow but couldn't leave the airport. For 39 days, he lived in the transit zone. On August 1st, 2013, Russia granted him asylum. In 2020, Russia granted him permanent residency.
Ooh, damn. How long did that take?
13, Russia granted him asylum. In 2020, Russia granted him
Almost 10 years, yeah, now he qualifies, bro. And Russia is an enemy of the US state, so an enemy of the US state will be a friend to them.
permanent residency. Supporters call him a hero. Critics call him a traitor. As of 2025, Snowden remains in Russia, wanted by US authorities for 12 years. Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, so he wasn't supposed to leave. How did he leave and get to Moscow? Illegal. He was supposed to be arrested. Let me see his passport.
Act violations. The State Department revoked his passport. On June 23rd, he flew to Moscow but couldn't leave the airport. For 30
Oh yeah, because he flew without a passport and proper papers and stuff.
95, the UNABOV years. Ted Kaczynski. Between 1978 and 1995, the Unabomber mailed explosive devices that killed 3
Shit.
people and injured 23. The FBI's investigation
So he was a terrorist.
became one of the most expensive in American history. In 1995, he sent a 35,000-word manifesto to newspapers. The Washington Post and New York Times published it on September 19, 1995. David Kaczynski recognized his brother Ted's writing style and
Oh, so the brother is the one who sold
contacted
him.
authorities. On April 3, 1996, FBI agents raided a remote cabin near Lincoln, Montana. Ted Kaczynski, 53, lived alone without electricity. Inside, agents found bomb components and a detailed journal. On January 22, 1998, facing the death penalty, Kaczynski pleaded guilty in exchange for life without parole. On June 10, 2023, he was found dead in his cell at age 81.
Damn, he was too old now. He was too old.
The case had lasted 17 years. Joseph Kony. Joseph Kony founded the Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda in 1987.
Yeah, he knew it's an African guy.
Over 3 decades, the LRA abducted 66,000 children, forcing boys to become soldiers and girls into sexual slavery. In 2005, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants. A $5 million reward was
Why did it take so long, bro? They took too long.
offered. In 2011, President Obama
I think
authorized
it's because other countries were not benefiting. This thing is still happening. Other countries are still getting resources. The international court is not doing anything.
100 U.S. military advisors to assist African forces. In 2012, Kony 2012 went viral, bringing international attention. Despite resources, Kony remained at large. By 2017, the LRA had fewer than 100 fighters. In 2017, the U.S. ended operations, citing reduced threat. As of 2025, Joseph Kony remains at large,
What?
evading
Bro, when you're starting a criminal empire, you should also be having something on his side that when I start running, he should be like, who's that guy? Raymond Reddington. He cannot be caught.
Capture for over 30 years. Radovan Karadzic. Radovan Karadzic was president of Republika Srpska during the Bosnian War from 1992 to 1995. He
Yo, this guy's a president. No wonder I never heard of him.
ordered the siege of Sarajevo, which lasted 1,425 days, killing over 11,000 civilians. In July
This is
1995,
exactly what's happening now.
Bosnian Serb forces massacred approximately 8,000 Bosniak men and boys in Srebrenica. On July 25, 1995, the International Criminal Tribunal indicted him for genocide and war crimes. For 13 years, he evaded capture, living under the name Dragan Dob.
Dragan Debik. 13 years. These guys are good. Criminals are good at hiding. Especially if you already know that one day you'll be wanted.
Practicing alternative medicine in Belgrade. On July 21, 2008, Serbian intelligence located him riding a bus. Police arrested him without incident. His trial began on October 26, 2009. On March 24, 2016, he was found guilty and sentenced to 40 years. On appeal, the sentence was increased to life imprisonment on March 20, 2019.
Oh,
Karadzic
he's
is
never
held
coming out alive. He's old already.
at a UN detention facility. He is 80 years old. Carlos the Jackal. Ilich Ramirez Sanchez, known as Carlos the Jackal, was one of the most wanted terrorists of the 1970s and 1980s. Born in Venezuela, he joined the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. In 1975, he led a raid on OPEC headquarters in Vienna, taking 11 oil ministers hostage.
Ooh.
The operation killed 3 people. He bombed cafes, trains, and shops across France, killing dozens. He was linked to at least 11 murders. He moved between communist countries that provided protection. After the Cold War, his safe havens disappeared. On August 14, 1994, French agents captured him in Sudan. He was drugged, placed in a sack, and flown to France.
Yo. This is an illegal way. This was a funny way to capture someone.
3 separate trials
Because they knew they'd have to go through court. So they have to kidnap him and start a story that they already captured him there.
convicted him of multiple murders. He received 3 life sentences. Carlos is held in a maximum security French prison. He has been imprisoned for 31 years. Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar's
We all know
Medellin
this
cartel
one.
supplied 80% of the world's cocaine at its peak in the late 1980s, earning an estimated $420 million per week.
Oh. How much am I earning now a week? I think I'm earning 1,000 rand a week. That's less than $100.
He ordered the murders of hundreds of judges, police officers, journalists, and politicians who opposed him. In 1989, he bombed Avianca Flight 203, killing all 107 people
Ooh.
aboard.
This guy was a menace.
In 1991, facing mounting pressure, Escobar negotiated surrender terms with the Colombian government. He agreed to serve a maximum of 5 years in a luxurious, self-built prison called La
This guy is crazy. Self-built prison.
Cathedral. The prison had a football field, bar, and jacuzzi. He continued running his drug empire from inside. On July 22, 1992, learning authorities planned to transfer him to a real prison. He escaped with 9 associates. The Colombian government formed Search Block, a special police unit dedicated to finding Escobar. The U.S. provided intelligence support and electronic surveillance equipment. For 16 months, Escobar moved between safe houses in Medellin. Authorities tracked him using radio direction finding equipment. Escobar made frequent phone calls to his family, allowing authorities to trace his location. On December 2, 1993, electronic surveillance pinpointed him to a middle-class neighborhood in Medellin. Search blocks surrounded the house at 3 p.m. Escobar and his bodyguard attempted to escape across the rooftops. Colombian police shot them both. Escobar was hit in the leg, torso, and ear. He died on the roof at age 44.
Ooh. I didn't even know how Escobar died. It's the first time seeing that Escobar died while he was running away from the police. He was only 44 years old.
Over 25,000 people attended his funeral. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Joaquin Guzman, known as El Chapo, led the Sinaloa cartel. one of the world's largest drug trafficking organizations. His cartel smuggled tons of cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine into the United States. He was first arrested in Guatemala in 1993 and extradited to Mexico, receiving a 20-year sentence at Puente Grande Maximum Security Prison. On January 19, 2001, he escaped hidden in a laundry cart after bribing guards. For 2001, he escaped hidden in a laundry cart after bribing.
Bro, drug cartels from the 90s were wild. Now they are still wild, but bro, from the 90s it is something else.
Bribing guards. For 13 years, he remained free, running his cartel
He escaped and remained free for 19 years.
From hiding. Forbes magazine listed him among the world's most powerful people. The U.S. offered a $5 million reward. Among the world's most, he remained free, running his cartel.
For that 13 years, I would have continued running, making sure I never get caught. Not continuing running my cartel.
From hiding. Forbes magazine listed him among the world's most powerful people. The U.S. offered a $5 million reward. On February 22, 2014, Mexican Marines captured him in a hotel in Mazatlan. He was sent to Altiplano Prison, Mexico's highest security facility. On July 11, 2015, guards discovered his cell empty. He had escaped through a tunnel nearly a mile long.
This guy.
2015, guards discovered his cell empty. He had escaped through a tunnel nearly a mile long, 30 feet underground, equipped with lighting, ventilation, and a motorcycle.
How did he even do all of this? It was the prison that helped him. There's no way he can do this on his own.
On rails. The tunnel took over a year to build. On January 8, 2016, Marines raided his house in Los Mochis. A gunfight erupted. 5 cartel members were killed. Guzman escaped through a drainage tunnel, emerged through a manhole, and stole a car. Police caught him on the highway an hour later. This time, Mexico extradited him to the United States. On January 19, 2017, exactly 16 years after his first escape, he arrived in New York. His trial began on November 5, 2018. On February 12, 2019, a jury found him guilty on all charges. On July 17, 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. He is held at
He's never coming out.
ADX Florence, the U.S. Supermax prison in Colorado. Adolf Eichmann. Adolf Eichmann organized the logistics of the Holocaust, coordinating the deportation of millions of Jews to concentration camps. After World War II, he escaped to Argentina in 1950 using a Red Cross travel document under the name Ricardo Clement.
The very same people he hated, he used their details to travel, to run.
He lived openly in Buenos Aires, working at a Mercedes-Benz factory.
What?
In 1960, Mossad agents confirmed his identity. On May 11, 1960, they grabbed him near his home and held him in a safe house. On May 20th, they smuggled him onto an El Al flight to Israel, disguised as a sick crew member. His trial began on April 11, 1961 in Jerusalem. On December 15th, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. On May 31st, 1962, Eichmann was executed by the State of Israel.
Yeah, Israel doesn't play with executing. I still have to watch that video.
Saddam Hussein ruled Iraq as dictator from 1979 to 2003. He used chemical weapons against Kurdish civilians in 1988, killing 5,000 in Halabja. On March 20th, 2003, American forces invaded Iraq. Within 3 weeks, Baghdad fell. Saddam disappeared. A $25 million reward was offered. On December 13th, 2003, soldiers raided a farmhouse near Tikrit. They found disturbed earth near a mud hut. Underneath styrofoam and a rug was a spider hole, 6 feet deep. Saddam was inside, disheveled and bearded. He surrendered without resistance. His trial began on October 19, 2005. On November 5, 2006, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. On December 30th,
So Hussein was sentenced to death. I didn't even know that. I'm learning a lot here.
2006, Saddam was executed by hanging. He was 69 years old. Ayman al-Zawahiri. Ayman al-Zawahiri was Osama bin Laden's deputy.
No, I wanted to say that I cannot prove it, but he was a terrorist. I just didn't want to sound like I'm discriminating because he is Muslim. But he is a terrorist.
Helped plan the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings that killed 224 people. He helped plan the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings that killed 224 people. He helped Ayman al-Zawahiri. Ayman al-Zawahiri was Osama bin Laden's deputy. He helped plan the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings that killed 224 people. After bin Laden's death in 2011, al-Zawahiri became al-Qaeda's leader. A $25 million reward was offered. For over 20 years, he evaded al-Qaeda's leader.
Wait, Osama died
After
when?
bin Laden's death in 2011, al-Zawahiri became al-Qaeda's leader. A $25 million reward was offered. For over 20 years, he evaded capture.
Yo, 20 years.
In 2022, the CIA identified a safe house in Kabul's Sherpur neighborhood. Surveillance showed al-Zawahiri appearing on the balcony each morning. On July 31, 2022, at 6:18 a.m., a U.S. drone fired 2 Hellfire missiles at the balcony. Al-Zawahiri was killed instantly. No one else was harmed. The Taliban later confirmed his death. Al-Zawahiri had been wanted for 24 years. Osama bin Laden. On September 11th,
Wait, the Taliban, who was leading? So the Talibans were like a military for the Al-Qaeda.
2001, 19 hijackers killed nearly 3,000 people in coordinated attacks on the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and United Airlines Flight 93.
Bro, this was a very sad attack. I don't even want to say it was a greatest attack.
Within days, investigators identified Osama bin Laden as the mastermind. Bin Laden had founded al-Qaeda in 1988 and declared war on the United States in 1996. The FBI placed him on their most wanted list. War on the United States in 1990. Laden had founded al-Qaeda in 1988 and declared war on the United States in 1996. The FBI placed him on their most wanted list with a $25 million reward, the largest bounty in history. U.S. forces invaded Afghanistan in October 2001, targeting Taliban forces that sheltered bin Laden. He escaped into the mountainous Tora Bora region in December 2001. American bombers pounded the cave complexes for weeks, but bin Laden slipped across the border into Pakistan. For nearly 10 years, he remained hidden. The CIA tracked...
And I thought... Also, what I found out about bin Laden, I think it's from Dubai. I think he was born in Dubai. No, Saudi Arabia, not Dubai, Saudi Arabia.
his
And
career
Saudi Arabia is a very peaceful country. That's why he moved to... Why did he die? I think he died there as well. Or he died in Pakistan.
network, following leads across Pakistan. In August 2010, they identified a suspicious compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, 35 miles from Islamabad. The compound had 18-foot walls topped with barbed wire and no internet connection. On May 2, 2011, 23 Navy SEALs flew into Pakistan on 2 helicopters. They breached the compound at 1 a.m., moved through the building room by room, and reached the 3rd floor. Bin Laden appeared in a doorway. The SEALs shot him multiple times in the head and chest. He died at the scene. The operation lasted 38 minutes. His body was flown to Afghanistan for identification, then buried at sea. The manhunt had lasted
What?
9 years and
Buried at sea.
7 months. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler led Nazi Germany from
Yeah, this one was never found, I remember. Took his own life.
19...
What's happening with my internet? It's gone. Alright, I'm ending it here, bro. I'm ending it here. That's it from me. Keep subscribing, by the way. Keep subscribing.